Hello, I'm Kevin, and that's my rabbit, Wiggy. And as you can see, I liked to take long walks on the beach with him. And if you look carefully, you'll see on my wrist, that's his leash. So he's not going anywhere. And now that you've seen that picture, it might not surprise you to hear that when I was 16 years old, I started having some doubts about my sexuality. My friends were dating and having sex, and I wasn't, and it was starting to stand out that I was different. Now, under these circumstances, some guys might try to convince themselves they weren't gay by having sex with a girl. I thought it would be easier to write a 300-page novel proving I wasn't gay. Now, the book was mostly a glorified journal, so I knew I couldn't sell myself on the idea that I was really girl crazy. Instead, I was just above sex entirely. This was a good solution because it not only meant that I wasn't gay, it also meant I was better than other people. Now, it was important to give my alter ego a unique and meaningful name, so I went out and got a secondhand Name Your Baby book and somehow managed to pick the gayest name in it. Hadley. Of course, I knew my book was sure to be an instant classic, destined to replace The Catcher in the Rye in classrooms nationwide. So when I was finished, I proudly showed it to 3 of my teachers. They were not as enthusiastic as I expected. One of them said, "Kevin, I think it's great that you wrote a novel, but why did you write this novel?" And now I'm going to read you some excerpts from my novel. I'm going to stick to the parts that are based on things that actually happened to me. I'm going to leave out some of the fictional storylines I threw in for drama, like the nun who gets raped and has a miscarriage, and all the stuff about the orphans. So here it is. Hadley's Playground. Chapter 1. My shrink keeps telling me I'm making excellent progress, but all he wants to talk about is sex. For most people, sex is like tiptoeing through the tulips. But I don't see it that way at all. I see it like some kind of crazy addiction. And it's just, I'd rather take care of it in a more businesslike way. You know, jerking off. I mean, sex is just too confusing, disgusting really, and foolish. I have a lot of trouble with people who spend all their goddamn time thinking about it. So part of my problem is I had a female friend who wanted to date me, and I didn't want to date her. So we'd go out on the weekends, and we'd go out drinking on the weekends. She'd end up getting it on with some guy while I waited off to the side. This was frustrating for me, but it gave me a lot of material for Hadley to get worked up over. So here are a couple of true stories I put in the book. Chapter 4. We got some vodka and went to the playground to drink it. Lori kept scolding me for using Audrey for her fake ID to get alcohol, but I didn't get it. I mean, nobody blames a baby for using his mother to get milk. So we climbed up in the kiddie plane to drink the vodka, and Peter immediately changed the subject to sex. Lori told this story about going into the woods for a smoke with this guy, and when they got there, he asked if she'd give him a blowjob. She said no. He told her to just close her eyes and imagine he was Kirk Cameron. I poured myself another drink, and the next thing I remember was Peter saying, "Lori, your fingers taste like soap." I asked him what he was talking about. He told me to taste Lori's finger and find out for myself. So I did. It did taste like soap. Then Lori started sucking Peter's finger, so I had her suck my finger, and the next thing I knew, Lori was unzipping Peter's pants and sucking something else. And I bet it didn't taste like soap. Chapter 7. I'm skipping 3 chapters of Hadley wandering around drunk in the playground. Pretty soon, I heard Lori coming over. "You did this to me last time too, Lori. 2 of us plan a fun evening and some goddamn stranger takes you away with his goddamn penis." "Hadley, nobody meant to leave you. It's just things happen when you get drunk. You do stuff like that." "I don't. I was gonna just run away, Lori. I was gonna just leave this goddamn playground and run away." "You never would have made it. There's a graveyard right across the street, and you probably would have stumbled right in." "How do you know?" "Graveyards don't change, Hadley. Playgrounds change, but graveyards don't. They just get bigger." It was a metaphor. Chapter 8. A week later, the same thing happened again. Lori and I went to this guy JC's house and got drunk. I must have fallen asleep, because the next thing I remember is hearing Lori say, "I'm not gonna suck it if you're not gonna come for an hour and a half." Pretty soon there was talk of baby oil, and then JC was sent upstairs for honey. And then it began. It was awful. It sounded like some sort of major appliance. It got faster and faster, racing and racing. Then the climax finally came. Sounded like a colossal fart. Eventually, Lori came and got me. "You were passed out that whole time, weren't you?" "I heard it all, you crazy bitch." She was my best friend. So eventually I realized I was going to have to confront the whole gay thing head on so I could totally dismiss it. So in chapter 10, I introduced a gay character based on a friend of ours who had conveniently come out while I was writing chapter 9. Chapter 10. So we went to our usual hangout, which was Denny's. And when Joe went to the bathroom, Lori said, "Hadley, is this all right? I mean, are you comfortable with this? With Joe, I mean." "Yeah, why wouldn't I be?" "Well, Hadley, he's been coming on to you the whole time we've been here." "Has he really?" I never noticed that kind of thing. "Yes, he's been all over you. Are you sure you're okay with that?" "Yeah, why not? I mean, it's not like he's gonna rape me in the middle of Denny's." And it was true. I mean, why should I be uncomfortable around Joe? In fact, it sort of flatters me that Joe is attracted to me. But maybe that does make me strange. I mean, there have been more than a few people before who have asked me if I was gay, including my mother. But just because I don't rape every girl I meet, that doesn't make me gay. So by the time I got to the end of the book, the project was getting harder to control. Hadley was still asexual and self-righteous. But in real life, I had gotten in the habit of stealing Playgirl magazines and beating off to them. Clearly I wasn't gay though, so what could it all mean? I decided the problem wasn't that I was gay, but rather that the world was full of gay forces conspiring against me. if Hadley could just face these forces and conquer them, then everything would be fine for me. So I introduced a new character, Gabe, who has a problem with drugs. And in the book, Hadley and Gabe run into each other at a party. And they become good friends and they run into each other at a party. So this part of the book is totally fictional, but I had to write this scene in exactly this way to prove, once and for all, that I definitely was not gay. And before I read it to you, I want to remind you, I showed this to 3 teachers. And now, the climax of my I'm Not Gay novel. Chapter 23. I looked into the bedroom and found Gabe sitting on the floor, stripped down to his underpants. He was filling a syringe. I sneaked up behind him and grabbed it out of his hand. How dare you? I couldn't help it, Hadley. There's nothing left for me but drugs. Nobody cares. They probably haven't even noticed I'm not there. Well, I noticed, and I came back and I saved you from yourself. Now get off the floor and into bed. He climbed into bed and I pulled the cover up over him. Okay, now I'm just going to sit here with you and we're just going to talk, all right? Would you do something for me, Hadley? Yeah? Would you lie here in bed with me, please? I need to be close to someone right now. All right. I guess I do too. So I climbed into bed and lay down next to him. He immediately rested his head on my shoulder. I could feel tears streaming off his face. Gabe, how'd it come to this? I asked. 'Cause we were really 2 halves of one person, he replied. And then the next thing I knew, I felt a leg sliding across mine. And all of a sudden, Gabe was lying on top of me, and I could tell what was going on because of the nature of certain things. If you know what I mean. Hadley, I'm sorry to do this to you. I was just lying there looking at you, and I couldn't help myself. I tried. I really did. If you want out, run. Run away. I can't stop this on my own. You have to run or I will take you. I will show you no mercy in this. I can't help it. I love you too much. He leaned down and kissed me a couple of times. 3 teachers. Come on, run. Run away. Or I'll take you. I'm not bluffing. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Run away. Gabe, I could never run away from you. Do what you have to do. He collapsed on top of me. He closed his eyes and put his arms around me. I just let every muscle in my body go limp and he could do whatever he wanted with me. I had no choice. And I didn't even mind it, really. I was too numb to feel it and too tired to fight back. I just let my arms drape off the sides of the bed while he kept kissing me. And it wasn't so awful, really. And I was sort of flattered. I just closed my eyes and gritted my teeth while he did it. And then, toward the end, I just dug my teeth into the pillow and moaned a little. And then it was over. And I just stayed there with my head in the pillow. I heard a match being struck while he lit up a cigarette. Then I started to turn around, but I was stopped. No, don't. I stayed where I was. Gabe, I let you do it. I know it's going to be hard for you to forgive yourself for all this, But you have to, because what happened here tonight was me using you, not the other way around. I needed to suffer some sort of ultimate degradation. I wanted it, I needed it, and I was going to search for it until I found it. I love you for trying to spare me, but I would never spare myself. And now it's over, and it will never happen again. So, about 6 weeks after I finished my I'm Not Gay novel, I realized I was totally gay. And I didn't need a big book deal or the approval of my teachers to be okay with that. But for better or for worse, I've still never been anally raped by a heroin addict, so. There's always tonight. Realistically, the deal was probably sealed the moment I chose that name for my main character. I still have that book, and I recently went back to look through it, and I was shocked by what I found in that entry. I think I must have interpreted the meaning given by this book at the time as a metaphor for a blank slate or an empty canvas. But what it literally says in the book is, Hadley, uncultivated land, waiting to be plowed by men. Thank you.
Let's all grab your rabbits and go to the beach.
I feel a little funny. There's something that I know about myself that I'm thinking about as I stroke my bunny. It's my truth. I'm not gonna fight this. I'm gonna tell everybody I'm bisexual and self-righteous. So I know what to do today. I'm gonna write a novel about how I'm not gay. I'm gonna show it to a girl, how could I reach her? I'm gonna show it to 3 fucking teachers. I'm gonna look in this book, how could this end badly? Which name should I motherfucking choose? Damn straight, it's motherfucking Hadley. 'Cause it's Hadley's. It's Hadley's playground. Hadley's is Hadley's playground. Hadley's, it's Hadley's playground. Hadley's, it's Hadley's playground.
Playgrounds change, cemeteries don't, they just get bigger.
Metaphor, metaphor.
You do it to me, not the other way around. Also a metaphor,
metaphor,
metaphor. Do your fingers taste like soap, or the other way around? Does your soap taste like fingers? Also a metaphor. Everything's a metaphor. When you think about it, think about it. B is the second letter of the English alphabet. Think about it. Someday I want to climb up into that kiddie plane and give it to Laurie myself. Or is that just the character I created in my narrative? The I'm not gay narrative. Some people would just have sex with girls.
Easier.
300 pages. Single-spaced motherfucker. I'm not calling myself an overachiever, just the right amount of achiever. Yeah, I'm not gay. But we're gonna go down to the playground. All right. And we're gonna be as not gay as we possibly can. And then in the end, when we thought we couldn't be as not gay as we are, we're gonna bite that pillow. While Gabe plows are behind, I'm not gay. I'm just taking it. Taking it.
Oh, you're done?
I'm done.
I said it's Hadley's playground. It's Hadley's playground. It's Hadley's playground. It's Hadley's playground.
So my mom thinks I'm gay. 3 teachers think I'm gay. The whole school thinks I'm gay. Whatever, I got 23 chapters underway to prove I am just straight as a toothpick. When me and my rabbit flock through the tulips, I'm above it all. I don't really care what you got in those balls, but what? These forces are attacking me, and I'm avoiding them unhappily. Yeah, Gabe's trying to get me. All these people trying to rape me at Denny's. Talking about a grand slam. Masturbating to Kirk Cam. Inside my brain, but what can it mean? It's not the same. But Gabe, we feel that connection. I can tell by the nature of a certain erection. That's not a metaphor.
You better run, Hadley!
But he's coming so close to me. But I'm just like, oh no, you see. But I'ma bite that pillow and squeal. He can be the plow, I will be the field.
It's Hadley's playground. Hadley's playground. Hadley's playground.
I'm not gay. I'm totally not gay.